Where is research headed that will change the lives of patients? What kind of investments need to be made now to achieve what's important in the future? It's easy to know where things are and what to invest in, but what's most important is to see where things are going to go to change lives. And that's important as a dean to develop a strategic plan, strategic vision to move the institution forward, to make investments in areas that may not be so obvious, but turn out to be made very important.
I wanted to create a program on prostate cancer, but Dr. Charney turned that into a prostate cancer center of excellence. The word is excellence. He brought in the excellence in research. He brought in excellence in patient care. He brought in excellence in how we handle the complex problems, and he made it one of the most comprehensive programs, and not just by telling us how to do it, but by providing every support anyone could have dreamt for. I cannot thank him enough.
Dennis Charney has had one main goal as the Dean of Mount Sinai, which is to transform medicine.
He's someone who understands research, who understands what it takes to conduct groundbreaking research, and who understands what it takes to nurture and develop researchers.
By honoring Dennis Charney, we are honoring a man who came here about 20 years ago to devote his life, every fiber of his being, to making the world a better place for patients, their families, and their communities.
When I first took the job as dean, I wanted to determine how was I going to make this institution great.
He fulfills the mission of creating new knowledge in a way that has brought Mount Sinai Medical School from being just another name as one of the medical schools in this nation to being a top 20 medical school in the nation.
He wants to be the one developing, those new treatments. That's the end goal. And he tells me that, he pushes me. He transformed my career.
If you look at the great discoveries in biomedicine, many of them went against the grain, that people would say to the scientists, you're going in the wrong direction. It's not going to work. And in many cases, that led to fundamental discoveries that changed the field in a direction that was unexpected but made all the difference.
Dennis really just doesn't take no for an answer. And because of that, he's been able to build this great school of medicine that's a powerhouse in so many different fields. Our Tisch Cancer Institute. If you listen to the advisors initially, they would be, don't send in a cancer center grant to NCI because it's going to be too difficult. He went out and made sure that we recruited all the right people. He made sure we had the right resources and the right infrastructure in place here, and he got it done.
The thing that makes my dad a great leader is, first, he really cares about the success of other people. He takes true pride in seeing other people be successful.
Without him, I wouldn't be here today as an NCI Cancer Center director.
He's a great advocate for prostate cancer research and for overall cancer research at Mount Sinai. But what matters most to Dennis is the advancements we make that lead to improved therapeutics for our patients. And in this area, particularly in prostate cancer, we are making great progress. This is why Dennis Charney is a true champion of men's health.
On behalf of all the patients with prostate cancer, all of us who are involved in the clinical care, the researchers who are working on the bench to find a cure for prostate cancer, we really want to thank Dr. Charney for being who he is as an individual, as a leader, as a guide, as a dean, and as a face for prostate cancer awareness.
I'm proud of where we have come, but I'm not satisfied that if you're not moving forward, am I still being innovative? Am I still being inspiring to others? Am I working with our teams to come up with really great ideas, innovative ideas? That's what I think about all the time.
Thank you, Dr. Charney.
Steve was my buddy, like a brother. We used to say we were brothers of a different mother. I was incredibly close to him.
he's an incredible human being. There's no way to capture Stephen. If I weren't his wife, he is one of the most incredible human beings that walk this planet.
Steve was brilliant, but that doesn't capture him. He was the finest person I've ever met, the kindest person you would ever meet. His contribution to science was to articulate a greater understanding of post-traumatic stress disorder. How did trauma lead to the disability associated with PTSD and all the symptoms? And by understanding resilience, we could come up with better treatments for PTSD.
He ultimately was interested and very highly curious about the human condition. And fortunately, he landed in the field of psychiatry. And his area of psychiatry was all about trauma and helping those with mental traumas. He was just an outstanding human being that gave everything his all.
Steve Southwick died of prostate cancer because we didn't have the treatments available to cure him. And I hope this award motivates prostate cancer researchers to come up with a cure. So great men like Steve Southwick would not have died.
Every year, we want to recognize one researcher who may or may never see a patient on the bedside, but should know about Dr. Southwick, because things they do in the back end which will help a patient have a better quality of life or a better longevity of life. This year, it is Dr. Sujit Nair. We have chosen Sujit as the first recipient of the Stephen Southwick Research Award because of his innovation, hard work, and his dedication towards science and prostate cancer.
The long-term goal, the fact that we can cure cancer, is the motivation, and that's what excites me.
Sujit is working on many new clinical trials, one of which is in immunotherapy. He epitomizes a researcher who is in the trenches, working on multiple fronts at the same time to help the patients with prostate cancer.
Our greatest discovery has been that we can reverse engineer the tumor microenvironment, trying to create it from an immune deficient to an immune-rich microenvironment that can block the tumor growth and cancer progression.
What I'd like to say to Dr. Nair is congratulations, and I hope that what this award symbolizes and what it stands for will continue to inspire his work and give him inexhaustible energy.
Another characteristic of Steve was courage. Steve had enormous courage, and that was demonstrated in the fight that he went through with prostate cancer.
And the way he left this life, he had a smile on his face. He showed me to go on to the next journey without any fear.
Love is a power stronger than death, and my love for Steve still exists. And the world has lost a light in the darkness, an inspiration, a role model of how good somebody can be as a person.
This award will inspire me to keep going with my research and advance my research so that we can combat cancer earlier.
I think the baton that Stephen Southwick would pass along to Dr. Sujit Nair is one of resilience